Jackie Kennedy Onassis. When often thought of, she is seen as the wife of the former president. But Jackie's legacy extends to more than just a wife. She is a powerful woman who has had a timeless effect on the world and specifically future First Ladies. Jackie Kennedy Onassis was born July 28, 1929 in Southampton, New York. Jackie was a mother, a wife, a First Lady of the United States, a restorer of the White House, a promoter of the arts, a charitable woman, and a fashion icon. Jackie Kennedy Onassis died on May 19, 1994, but her legacy still lives on today. Allie McNulty, a freshman at the University of Kentucky. Do you know who Jackie Kennedy is? Name something you know about Jackie Kennedy.
Jackie Kennedy was the former president of the United States wife. She was really into fashion and influenced women all over the world.
An article from Hello Magazine, 8 Ways Jackie Kennedy Influenced History, describes how Jackie was a major icon to the fashion world. When looking at numerous political women like Nancy Reagan, Hillary Clinton, and Michelle Obama, we would see how they wore similar or exact clothing to Jackie. Each of these political women mimicked Jackie Kennedy's style in a different way. Nancy Reagan, just like Jackie Kennedy, is a true lover of fashion. Nancy's Chanel power suits mimic similar outfits that Jackie Kennedy would wear. Hillary Clinton was a huge fan of the power suits, just like Nancy and Jackie. Michelle Obama, just like Jackie Kennedy, shared a love for classy looks like wearing pearls to wearing bright colors that would make them stand out. In your opinion, what was Jackie Kennedy's greatest influence and why?
Jackie Kennedy's greatest influence was being the First Lady because she was married to John F. Kennedy because he was a very powerful man.
Jackie Kennedy's influence was not one thing in specific. Jackie created her own legacy aside from being the wife of John F. Kennedy in many aspects during her time spent in the White House. As explained in the article, 8 Ways Jackie Kennedy Influenced History by Vincent Nagamsi, Jackie updated the White House's interior, renovated the ballroom, and also traveled the world with John F. Kennedy and used her bilingual abilities. When updating the White House's interior, she used pieces that showed the history of the United States and made it into more of a home. The redecoration is a legacy that is carried on throughout time to current First Ladies. Jackie also renovated the ballroom for the sole purpose of throwing wonderful parties and concerts for her friends. Lastly, Jackie went to foreign countries with her husband and became a popular figure in several countries. As explained in 12 Things You Didn't Know About Jackie O by Sam Escobar, Jackie Kennedy was bilingual in English, French, Spanish, Italian, and Polish, which gave her an advantage when speaking of foreign policies with other countries and with her husband on the campaign trail. Jackie gave First Ladies more of a political role and made them a more important part in politics. Do you think Jackie Kennedy is still a highly relevant figure? In what ways?
No, I don't think she is still seen as a relevant figure in today's society because she was just a former lady of the United States.
Our current First Lady, Melania Trump, does not hide the fact that she is crazy over Jackie Kennedy's classic beauty. Melania rocked a red coat and is carried around a Chanel handbag just like Jackie. Needless to say, Jackie Kennedy was a large influence on this political woman.
Dr. Kathy Kern, a professor in the College of Arts and Science at the University of Kentucky. All right, question number 1 is, do you know who Jackie Kennedy is? If so, what is something people remember about her?
Well, first of all, yes, Isaac. I do know who Jackie Kennedy is because, I am a history professor, American history. So, so yes, I know both as a historian and as an American. And what is something that people know about her? I think that she was one of the first ladies who really kind of transformed the role of first lady. And so, and it's interesting because people say that about Eleanor Roosevelt, that she was a first lady who really changed the role where it becomes almost like its own political space for women. And I would say that Jackie Kennedy transformed the role in that she she made the White House kind of open to the public
Mhm.
through her television appearances, and she was this incredibly fashionable, fashion forward person who was very concerned with design and aesthetics and
Mhm.
art and the furnishings. And so she became she transformed the role of first lady as a kind of almost like a cultural
Mhm.
leader in
Mhm.
America.
In your opinion, what was Jackie Kennedy's greatest influence and why?
To what I was saying earlier, that she transforms the role of first lady and makes it a kind of public figure, a an invitation to Americans to think about the American presidency of one that is also connected to art and style and is respected internationally.
Mhm.
And so that's one, I think, of her greatest contributions. And then the other one, I think, is just the way she handled her husband's assassination.
Mhm.
Because she handled it, that incredible personal and public tragedy
Mhm.
with such grace and dignity. And I mean, just I still have all of those images in my mind of her and her children, at the funeral. And you and I were at a talk recently
Mhm.
where a journalist who was there at the time talked about, that she was splattered with blood, and she never left her husband's side.
Mhm.
So I think that that she, although somebody who is probably known for her pillbox hats and the A-line dresses and
Mhm.
all of that sort of mid-century modern style that
Mhm.
she came to symbolize, and I think that we still resonates
Oh,
with
definitely, definitely.
us. But she she was much more substance
Mhm.
than style, right?
Exactly.
And that substance comes through, I think, in how she handled her grief in front of a nation, you know. So I have a lot of admiration for her. I don't, she's not somebody I've studied or I've written
Mhm.
about, but I loved her sense of aesthetic, and I loved her fluency in French.
Mhm.
And I, to this day, I if I see a really cool dress, I'll be like, oh, that's a dress that Jackie O
That
would have
Jackie O
liked.
would
Yeah.
like,
So I
yeah.
feel like that's a way that she continues to resonate just in the
Oh,
lives of
yes, definitely.
everyday Americans.
Mhm.
But I think that showing people how you summon inner strength in the time of tragedy is also a kind of cultural lesson for the country.
Mhm.
Definitely. Do you think Jackie Kennedy is still a highly relevant figure? In what ways?
I think she is highly relevant, certainly in terms of all the first ladies of the 20th century.
Mhm.
I think she would probably be kind of across the political spectrum,
Mhm.
the most popular and probably the most recognizable.
Definitely.
Because of and she wasn't somebody who I mean, she had her causes,
Mhm.
but she wasn't like saying like I'm going to have a political career that's apart from my husband's. But she was somebody who I think Americans really admired. And when you think about the intense anti-Catholicism that accompanied the election
Mhm.
in 1960, and how people thought that Kennedy might be more loyal to the Pope than to
Mhm.
American democratic traditions.
Mhm.
The fact that she emerges as this beloved figure and an admired figure, I think, is really it really says something about the way they handled their religion and politics, and the way she handled her role as first lady. So yeah, I think that there hasn't been anybody. I mean, both Hillary Clinton and Michelle Obama, incredible people, but probably polarizing,
Mhm.
in some ways. Yeah, Nancy Reagan, incredible person, also polarizing,
Mhm.
where you have people who really loved them and admired the work they were doing, and people who were detractors. And
Mhm.
and maybe it's the nostalgia for for the Kennedys, right? And the kind of um, the grief. People are not as critical of Kennedy's presidency as they are of other ones. I think because of the assassination, and so maybe she gets a bump from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that she's still relevant, because I don't think you'll talk about first ladies without inevitably drawing a comparison to Jackie Kennedy.
In conclusion, Jackie Kennedy Onassis is seen as more than just a wife of a former president. Jackie Kennedy's legacy extends to a wife, a powerful woman, a fashion icon who has had a timeless effect on the world. Her inspiration to future first ladies has changed the overall view and role of becoming a first lady.